Hey, party people. Today, I want to address a question I get a lot. Why are clothes so freaking expensive? Here's the deal. Clothing companies, they make all their money off of selling clothes. They don't have a side gig. They have to pay all their bills with the money they make from selling clothes. And here are all the bills they have to pay. First, someone's got to design the clothes. Sometimes it's one person doing all the research, sourcing for materials, all the drawing, all the designing, all the flat sketching. And sometimes it's a whole team of designers and their assistants and their associates and their directors and tech designers and graphic designers and textile designers and their VP to sign off on everything. Some giant corporations hire fashion forecasters to help their designers design all these designs. And then you have to make muslins and samples. Sometimes you can skip the muslin if it's a repeating style, but you definitely need samples. Okay? And if you have a new or tricky style, then you probably need several iterations of samples. And then you have your samples, and the sales guys sell the samples, and so you have to pay the sales guys. Some work on commission, some work on salary, some work on some combination of the two, but you have to pay them. And then there are the costs of selling. Line sheets, lookbooks, commercials, billboards, trade show booths, runway shows, sales showroom fees, traveling costs for traveling sales reps. Don't forget social media, okay? You probably need to hire marketing people, social media people. Some people think that they're overrated, but speaking as someone who's really bad at the whole Twitter, Facebook game, I don't think so. You also have to pay production costs for all of these line sheets, lookbooks, commercials, print ads, trade shows, and runway shows. Models, photographers, videographers, hair, makeup, stylists, runway set designers, sound guys, light guys, guys who run around yelling at the other guys. And then once the design company gets all their orders together, production begins. As we speak, some poor production manager is poring over their cut tickets one last time before they pull the trigger. Some poor lady has to sit and wrangle 1 million purchase orders for self fabric, contrast fabric, a second contrast fabric, lining fabric, pocketing, interfacing, some kind of closure, buttons, button stays, snaps, zippers, lacing and grommets, buckles, elastics, drawstrings, O-rings, D-rings, and trims. Don't make me list trims. We'll be here all night. Did you know that sample patterns and production patterns are usually different? So you have to pay someone to make those too. You got to grade the pattern, aka make all the sizes. You got to make the markers, not the kind that you color with. They're basically guides for cutting, which leads to cutting and bundling and shipping and paying all the people who do the cutting, bundling, and the shipping. But what if you have custom printed fabric?
What if you have embroideries? What if you have beading, smocking? What if you have laser cut tie-dye leather flower appliques with embossing on the inside and debossing on the edges?
Who is making all these things happen? I don't know, but you have to pay them too. Ship everything to the stitcher. Stitch, 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 stitch. All sewn up, all done, right? You know, not really. What if your jeans need to be washed and scrubbed and ripped and shit after the jeans have been assembled? What if your stuff is garment dyed? What's garment dyeing? Garment dyeing is when you dye after the garment has been sewn together. Why would you do that? That's another video. And in the finishing department, they press the clothes, they clip all the loose threads. They slide those little cardboard thingies into the collar. They put nice jackets on hangers and they slide a plastic baggie over them. Or they fold up your clothes and slide them into the plastic sleeves. They punch hang tags with prices and labels and, those little buttons. Box them up, double check the purchase order, triple check the EDI because nobody likes freaking chargebacks, thank you very much. Ship them out and pay all the people who just did all those things. And then customer service, because some customers are the worst. Doesn't matter what industry, you know some customers are the worst. So you need wonderful, diplomatic customer service people to work with you. You have to pay rent, electricity, heating, AC, so that people will keep wanting to work with you. Did I forget anything? All right, you have to pay the guy who makes your crazy cryptic care instruction labels. I mean, seriously, what do all those symbols even mean? Don't forget to pay the security guy who makes sure that the horrible office manager isn't stealing all the samples. Don't forget to pay the HR department who will fire the horrible office manager once she's caught stealing all the samples. Some companies even pay their interns. You have to pay the janitors. And you know what? You have to pay the person who pays everyone else. The accounting department. And this is all that goes into the wholesale price, give or take a brain fart. I've never worked retail and I've never worked corporate retail, so I don't know what all goes into their markup, but you know they mark their stuff up too. So now that you know a little bit about why clothes are so expensive, The question you might be asking is, how are clothes so cheap?